Hold on, I turned the camera on. I ain't ready to be on. I'm over here. Turn the camera on while I was still naked. I haven't gotten dressed. Let me get right. Let me get right. That's right. And I gotta look for the connection. There we go. And that's right. So now, right? Okay, let's go. Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships Thursday. Today on the Daily Go Getterism show, we are talking about mechanic and barber shop nightmares. What do you know? What do you know about a bad cut and having to put the car back in the shop? What do you know about that? Let's get into it. Boom, bang. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, hit that like button, y'all. Hold on. Trying to figure it out. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. It's the daily go-getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about mechanic and barbershop nightmares tonight. Barbershop mechanic nightmares. What do you know? What do you know about having a bad barber, a bad hairstylist? Now, just because I don't have no hair, you know what I mean? Please try not to judge too harshly, because there was a time I had hair and I took good care of it. It's just that through heredity and genetics and all of that, I couldn't keep it on my head. You know what I'm saying? I could keep it on my face, but it just wouldn't stay up here. It'll go all around here, but we're not doing that. But anyway, but I do know what it's like to switch barbers and all that. Now, a lot of people say that men have the same barbers for years and years and years or whatever. That's not my experience. I changed barbers frequently. Like soon as you mess my shit up, soon as you cut my hair in a way that I didn't like, I was moving on. Plus, I like to experiment. Let me see, like, why do I have to go to the same barber? Especially when a barber starts to get really good, everybody around the way starts waiting for that barber. And next thing you know, we usually just be able to give him a call or just walk over there and wait a couple of heads and get in there. Now he got a line. 20 people. I remember when there was no such thing as an appointment for the barbershop. That's how far back I go. This is Throwback Thursday. I remember when there was no such thing as an appointment for the barbershop. There was no such thing. And I remember when people started making appointments for the barbershop, I was like, you can't make no appointment to go to the barbershop. You got to get your ass up early in the morning, get there before the shop open, and be the first one in line. That's how it go. That's how we used to do it. But, and when you find a good barber, you have found, it's like what the Bible say, a man who finds a wife has found a good thing. But when you find a good barber, you found a great thing too. the thing is, they don't always stay great. They don't always stay great. Sometimes we forget that barbers are people. Barbers, hairstylists, they're people. They make mistakes. They start using drugs. They fall in love and don't want to do their job right. They have their own ideas about the way that you should look or how they should do your shit instead of listening to you and all of that kind of stuff. And sometimes you run into these problems. So you might have to keep moving, moving on. Sometimes it's like that. So, finding a good barber or a good hairstylist is not as easy as people make it seem. They make it seem, yeah, sweet like that, but no, it ain't always like that. Sometimes you gotta move on, gotta find a new thing, gotta find a new joint. Hey, you know how it goes. I'm gonna tell you like now in the flow, everything is gonna be okay as long as we do our thing and we make it out that way. But sometimes you gotta search, you gotta get on your grind and try to find that's what's good for you, that's tailored to your specifications. But anyway, so that's what we're talking about tonight. On the Daily Go Getimism show. So, and I ain't even getting to the whole mechanic part. We gotta have a conversation tonight. We gotta have a conversation tonight. We got some things we got to talk about, man. There aren't too many things in this world that are more frustrating than not being sure if your car is going to start, especially after a problem that was stopping it from starting was supposed to be fixed. That's where a reputable, reliable, responsible mechanic comes into the picture. Now, when you think about what a mechanic looks like, what's the picture that comes in your mind? I'm not talking about any particular mechanic, but what's your blueprint of a mechanic? When you hear the word mechanic, what do you picture? I'll tell you what, I always picture dirty fingernails. Real shit. When I think about barbers, I think about dirty fingernails. Now, do all barbers have dirty fingernails? No. But do a lot of them? Yes. Yes. Yeah, and barbers, and a mechanic doesn't always work in the shop. And there are normally reasons that the mechanic is not in the shop. All right, man, let's move this stuff out the way. Let's get our hardware out of the way and go ahead and have this conversation. Mechanic and barbershop nightmares, baby. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. You know what I mean? Now, I have to give a trigger warning. Because for some people, this show is not going to be easy to listen to. For some people, they are experiencing these problems going on in their lives right now. So I want you to know that more than likely, whatever you're going through with your hair or your car is going to get addressed tonight. And you might not like the way it gets addressed because you are right in the thick of it. Some of y'all are wondering if your car is going to get y'all to work this morning. Here it is, 2:15 in the morning. And you wondering like, yo, I got to get up. Some of y'all got to get up early as shit. You know what I mean? 5 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. You only got like less than 3 hours left. It's all good though. But anyway, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. And you wondering, when you go out and start your car, is the car going to definitely start? Or if it starts and it runs, is it going to get you to where it's supposed to be? On the poll that I put up dealing with the cars, one thing I forgot is gas. Gas. You can have problems with a car burning too much gas. Like you might have a car that's like a full-time 4-wheel drive, and that will burn a lot of gas. But even those may have some extra problems with it, where you might only be getting like five miles to the gallon. If that, if that, I know what that's about. I know what that's about, but we're gonna talk about it, be about it, get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we gonna solve, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, just hit the like button and we'll take care of the rest later. T Carry right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Dimples D's, thanks for coming on through. It's always a good time when I see you. And Mad D, what's good? Jad Man, Jad Man, always trying to change the topic. We got to talk about Israel and Iran, brother. We going to talk about it on another show. Repent and turn to Jesus, Tyler says. All right, I'll consider it. And Buana, my man Buana Haguski says, barbers have dirty fingernails. Really? Barbers? I meant to say mechanics. Did I say barbers? Maybe some barbers have some dirty fingernails too. I don't know. I don't know where that would come from. But anyway, Carrie Zilla, good to see you back. What's good? What's good? You said you pray that it's no one's transmission. Oh man. And Venus says, what's happening here? Well, you know, I mean, a little something happening, a little something. And Dwayne says, better be grateful you have a damn car. You could be catching the bus. Yeah, well, one thing about catching the bus is that you don't have to worry about gas. You don't have to worry about mechanical problems. You got a schedule. So you know if and when you're going to get to wherever you have to go. So catching a bus ain't all that bad. Some people don't like to drive. I know a lot of people that are either afraid to drive or don't like to drive. So, I know people who have a license and still won't go get a car. Cheryl Halsey, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you, Carrie Zilla. Appreciate you. Venus says, love that chit chat vibes. Made me laugh. That's what's up. Oh, it's going to get better than that, though. We can do better than that. Buana says, okay, all right. Venus says, the bus can be finicky and break down as well. Had to rely on it. But when the bus breaks down, only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be late. You ain't going to, you might have to make a phone call, and at least this time it's going to be legit. In the case that where you have habitual lateness issues or whatever. But when you talking about when your car break down, especially a breakdown on the highway, and here you are all by yourself on the shoulder of the road. Don't be on the shoulder of the road on the highway. It's a lonely place to be. Do I call my spouse? Do I call my friend? Do I call AAA? Do I call or whatever roadside assistance? You be thinking like, who do I call first? Because you really just want to get up out of there. You don't want no mechanical problems. And it's real fucked up when it's a problem that has happened before, but you took that chance. Like, well, I gotta get to work. I gotta get to work. I gotta get to work. Gotta get to work. I gotta get to work. It'll work. It'll be all right. I ain't gotta go that far. Here you are, stuck on the side of the road, looking bad, feeling lonely, rethinking everything you have ever considered in your life. Why did I take the car out today? I said, why did I have to go to work that way? I said, why didn't I have something better to say? Yo, why did I have to start off my day in this way? And I'm feeling like a real sucker because I'm put on the side of this motherfucker. All the cars are going by fast. I hope none of them drunk driving and hit me in the ass and make me pass up into the light. The heaven gates. And right now it ain't right. And don't break down. Don't break down on the highway and you ain't got roadside assistance. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh shit. You ain't got roadside assistance. Oh, so you need hubby or wifey or friendly to come. Can you, can you, uh, can you, can you help? Can, yeah. Yeah, or can I use some of your AAA credits? Do you got towing? I'm about 20 miles outside of the city. Will they be able to take it home? Shh, man, Jihad, what's good? What's good, my dude? Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's good? And Teddy Ball Game says, let's get serious. What is the superior beef jerky flavor? Mmm. Scary. Hold on. Heroin Dragons says you're chopped. Am I? All right, that's what's up. Scary Terry says this guy can rap sometimes, not all the time. Okay. What's your dosing? Nah, I do not get high. I don't drink. I don't get high. I don't do none of that shit. But what I'm going to do right now, we're going to cop a squat and we're going to have this conversation. We're going to have this conversation, baby. Let's get into it and get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we going to solve, y'all. Yeah. Mechanic and barber. You know, hold on now. You know, when you don't have a reliable vehicle or a reliable mechanic, he was supposed to have fixed that problem. You paid him before, or you owe him a couple of dollars or whatever. And you know, when you don't really know anything about mechanic work, you always suspect that, especially if you're a woman, you always suspect that men are taking advantage of you, like male mechanics are taking advantage of you, or fixing your car in a way that is going to break down again. You know what I mean? Real soon. You know, you be feeling like he trying to play you or trying to get some ass. You know what I mean? And that's one of the connections between a barber and a mechanic. Both of them work for sex. Yes, they do. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, you brought your son in to get a haircut? Well, I can cut his hair for free from here on in. From here on out, I should say. But you gotta, barbers ain't nothing but hoes. Y'all seen it? You seen it. You can always tell who the barber is screwing because she hangs around that shop way too much. Like, you be thinking, like, she ain't got no job? How is she in this shop? She in this shop as long as he is. Bringing him lunch, sitting there watching the TV, joining in conversations, acting like she worked there. You know what it is. You know what it is. So, Jihad says, no, they want Malik and Tariq to fix it. Malik and Tariq to fix it. And it breaks down again. I ain't never met no mechanics named Malik and Tariq. I'll tell you what, the good mechanics normally start off with Mr. The reliable mechanics normally start off with the suffix, or should I say the prefix, Mr. Tony, Mr. John, Mr. Dave, Mr. Pete. When the mechanic's names start off with Mr., then you know where you can find him. He ain't gonna shit on you. He ain't gonna overcharge you. If your mechanic's name don't start with Mr., then that means he's around your age. He gonna charge you up. See, Mr. Tony, Mr. Pete, Mr. Dave, Mr. Rock, Mr. Sean, Mr. this, Mr. that, Mr. whoever. They already done made their mechanic money. They probably used to work for Sears, Meineke, Midas, Jiffy Lube, whatever. They done retired. They still work on cars or whatever, but that ain't their livelihood. They already eating. So you can call them at their crib and they'll be there. You can break down on 95, call Mr. This, Mr. That, and Mr. Whoever, and they gonna come. And they ain't gonna charge you, no exorbitant amount of money. But if your barber don't have Mr. in front of it, why you calling me? What? Oh, you broke down on 95? Oh, that's messed up. Did you call AAA? Here, have them tow it to the shop. They can tow it to the shop. 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 They can tow it to the shop. Tow it to the shop. Yo, it's a bad thing that your car stopped. They can tow it to the shop. Tow it to the shop. Yeah, it's looking bad out here, yo. And yeah, we close around 6 o'clock, so don't bring it after that shit, because it ain't gonna rock. I'm gonna take a look at it tomorrow, but I got 3 in front of you, so you know how we do. But since you're stuck out there, let me call something for you to hear. Yeah, I got AAA. I got American, what's that roadside assist? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I wish I could help, but right now I got to get back to work and I'm going for self. And I hope that your health is intact, so call a cop. Yo, yeah, you know how to. Yeah. Hold on. We talking now? We talking? Do I have y'all attention? All right, we good. Hold on. Jihad says, son getting a haircut for free. You already know. When the son is getting a haircut for free, she hanging around the shop too much. Them barbershop groupies is something else. They always cute, but don't you let you as just a patron try to holler at them. That ain't. She here for free cuts and free cuts. The barbershop cut her. First he cut her little man's hair, and then he cut her later on. Yeah, he getting that cutty. Carrie Zilla says, mine was Napa. Okay. Malik and Tariq, those the ones who be in front of AutoZone of fake mechanics. They ain't fake mechanics. Shit. Motherfuckers put on brakes for like $25. Brakes all around and rotors for $100. Shit. I ain't mad at them AutoZone mechanics. I'm sorry, son. I know some of them smoked out or whatever, but hey, you either know what you do. Listen, this is how I judge it. If you don't have no tools, if you don't have the right tools to do the job, then I'm not fucking with you. You know, because sometimes they just had that little duffel bag, that little dirty ass, greasy, you know what I mean, oil stained ass duffel bag, and they looking for the right John to unscrew something, whatever. Like, nah, you don't want to get them to do nothing for you that's really high maintenance dealing with your vehicle. You can let them put on your brakes. That's the easy job to do. You know what I mean? I know a lot of scary people be like, no, I don't want nobody messing with my brakes. No, anybody can put on brakes. Vita, what up, Vita? What's good? Okay, Carrie says, they were brothers, bought incapable. Wait. Belt so broke down again. Wait, bought incapable. Incampable? What's that? Bought incampable belt so it broke down again. Hold on. You say that's actually great advice. He said, Mister. In mechanics, not Kevin and Devin. No, Mister. You need a Mister. You need a Mister. You need some experience. Shirley Cheryl says, what up, Shirley Cheryl? Jihad says, a man should never bring his woman to the barbershop with him. They can wait in the car. I don't really know nobody who bring their girl to the bar. You got, I have seen that. I've seen dudes bring their girl to the barber shop, but mostly, normally it's just a barber. I've seen barbers damn near have to separate two women that they was messing with because they was cutting two little man's hair and cutting two. They was cutting, you know, it's cutting. It's cutting, you know what I'm saying? It's cutting. But it is what it is. But forget about their little social climate or whatever. You know, when it comes to going to the barbershop or dealing with your car, when you go to the barbershop, you're talking about the way you look. And I imagine every man has had a haircut at some point that he didn't really like. And you stuck with that. You stuck with looking like that for a week or two. I would say 2, maybe 3, maybe a month. Depending on what happened. You know, men ain't really supposed to be changing their hairstyle a lot. You know what I mean? That's more of a feminine trait. But hey, some men do what they do. You know what I mean? When dudes have long hair, like braids and shit like that, perms and all that kind of shit. Anyway, but women too. Women don't always have the same stylist for forever. You know, they gotta find somebody who, you know, I've heard women complain that how some hairstylists, they know how to do hair, but they may not be good at cutting hair. Like some, you know, being skilled with the scissors is a lost art. The scissors, you know what I mean? You might be good with the clippers, but the scissors, and that's whether you a barber or a hairstylist, being good with the scissors, you know that somebody went to barber school or beauty school, whatever, and you know they learn shit the right way when they good with the scissors. Now, I remember the scissors from when I had a flat top back in the day, and that shit had to be real. You know, them barbers back then used to, you know what I mean? They made sure the top of that thing was laying. That thing was laying. You ain't even want to go to bed that night. Like, my shit's fresh. And my shit tapered on the side, you know what I mean? Box. Well, y'all start calling it a high top fade. That came out of New York. We didn't talk like that in Philly. But anyway, so, you know what I'm saying? But with the scissors, yo, they good with the scissors? You know you dealing with a pro. You dealing with an expert when they good with the scissors, baby. They good with the scissors. All right, anyway. All right. Okay. Jihad says, is it suspect when your woman like being under your male company? Is it suspect? I mean, she might just be nosy. She might be nosy. She want to hear what y'all talk about. Now, I mean, but you supposed to control that. You know, like, yo, talk to my man. Yeah. I mean, you want to bring us some snacks or some food or whatever, yeah, that's cool. But no, you ain't gonna be up under here just. He not your friend. Now, it might be different if you dealing with a chick that you've known like your whole life and y'all just got together. So yeah, it ain't, you know, y'all all are super familiar with each other. Other than that, that sound a little, yeah, I guess you could say that's a little suspect. Like, oh, I ain't shorty yet. Like, what if it was the other way around? Like, what man want to be around a bunch of women while they talking about the shit that they talk about? I know I don't be one. I'm cool. They conversations don't be nothing I want to get into. For real. Not all women talk about the same things, and you know, but I'm cool. I'm cool. Carrie Zilla says, yeah, I got some great colorists that can't necessarily cut great. Hair is an art. It is. It is. And every stylist or every barber might have their own little thing. They might have their own little thing, you know, but is their thing your thing? That's what needs to be figured out. Is their thing. Hold on. Oh. All right, hold on. Okay. I don't know what I touched, but I never used to be able to see the poll on the phone. I always had to look at it on the monitor. Okay, this is what's up. K-Cell, what's good? What's good? Yeah. But yeah, Carrie, the scissors, or maybe somebody's good with the scissors, but they might not be good with coloring for a female. You know what I'm saying? Like that coloring shit, cause that shit, you know, you can't just be mixing that shit like Kool-Aid. We talking about mechanic and barbershop nightmares, right? Well, what's more nightmarish than going to go get your hair done in a certain kind of way and wind up losing all your hair? What's worse than that? What's worse than that? Now you mad at yourself and you mad at your stylist. Like, yo, you fucked my hair up. Cause she probably tried to talk you out of it, or he, you know what I mean? Some men do women's hair. You know, those kind of men. But I have known some men who claim to be straight who did women's hair, though. And I have to say claim to be straight because it is what it is. He says, I'm chilling, recovering from surgery. Oh, you had surgery? I'm glad that you're recovering. You know what I mean? I'm glad everything worked out. That's a blessing. Sure Husband says, shout out to the barbers who spell words and make designs. But nowadays, you pay for that shit. My barber used to do that for me for free in 89. The whole 89, he had my shit. He was good. He was good with the designs too. And for him, it was like a project. It was like a project. So every week I came back, he was changing it up and all of that. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. But yeah, he was good. But I ain't want no words in this shit. Yes. You know, that shit, when you start woofing, and if y'all don't know what woofing is, that's when you start needing a haircut. You know what I mean? They call it woofing because their hair be growing down the back of your neck like a wolf, like a werewolf. Carrie Zilla says, Dennis, he is so hard to get into. What is Dennis? Oh, look at this dickhead. I ain't even gonna read his shit. All right, Jihad says, we had a barber in the neighborhood who liked to rub his stuff on your arm when you getting a haircut. I had to find another barber. That's what you just said is one of the worst barber stories I ever heard in my life. Because I wish a nigga would, but I'm glad a nigga didn't. But we would have problems on top of problems. On top of problems. Like a barber ain't supposed to be looking for a male love connection. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. No bueno. No. We not doing none of that. We doing absolutely none of that. Little freaky barber. Little was he a tiki barber? He was a tiki barber. He's a ronde barber. Nah, we good. We good, Sean. Hey, nah, Sean, we good. We straight. All right. So y'all get the gist of what we talking about. Y'all get the gist of what we're talking about. God damn. I'm looking at the poll. about which car issue has plagued you the worst. Sheesh. 47% out of 17 votes. The transmission, the tranny has been the yo, man, when your trans is fucked up, your car goes slow, you can't shift right, and you be praying to God that it's not your transmission because the shit costs too much. So you either got to go get a new car or you got to come out of your pockets a couple of $1,000. You might have a car where you might be able to get a transmission put in, a new transmission, which is really a rebuilt transmission. They always say a new transmission. It don't be new. They rebuild that shit. You might have a car where maybe you can get that done for like $1,200-$1,300. It's unlikely, especially in today's economy. You're gonna be paying. Cheryl says there are females who try to do that too. Don't rub up on me, Bertha. Damn, man, what the fuck? I can honestly say I've never experienced that before. That's crazy. That ain't cool. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We talking about mechanics and barbershop nightmares. If y'all want to call into the show, the number to call is area code 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said 267-874-1949. Yes, y'all. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949, baby. Call 267-874-1949. And I'll get you on up in here. We can have that conversation up close and personal. No matter how personal it is. I'll tell you what's personal. Getting a bad haircut is personal. But it ain't as personal as the rest of the world can see that you done fucked your shit up. Your hairline all twisted. You know what I mean? One hairline is all the way over here and the other one is here. They supposed to be like this and that. They like this and that. They supposed to be like this and that. They like this and that. It look like you turning your head. Like, who you looking at? I'm not looking at nothing, man. I just got a bad haircut. Damn, he fucked your shit up, son. Okay, hold on. Now, I must warn y'all, this might be a troll. You never know. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
You have a call from
caller with the last numbers 7224. Welcome to the Daily Go-Getimism Show. What's on your mind this evening?
Yo, son, what's up, brother? It's Jihad.
What's good? What's good, my dude? How you feeling?
On, brother? I can't complain. I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling like a real man should. Good to hear your voice. Talk to me.
Man, I'm telling you some real shit, man. That shit used to happen back in the day, bro. And come to find out, he was gay.
Yeah, I imagine so. What else could he have been? Playing them kind of games, dog. That's crazy. Wait, did he cut in the shop or did he cut in the crib?
No, he cut in the barbershop. That was the neighborhood barbershop. I was raised in the project, man, as a little boy. That's where the whole housing authority went to him. Up until I was like, I was going to 16 years old and I stopped.
Yeah, that's nasty work. That's nasty work.
Yep. So I had to call you on this, man, to let you know, man, that was true.
But could he cut?
When you little, anybody could cut.
Ain't that some shit? Right.
You know? But when I got older, when I looked at my graduation picture, my hairline was fucked up, so he couldn't cut.
Hold on. So hold on. How old was you when you stopped going to the board?
Like 17.
Damn. So he held you down from single digits all the way to 17 years old?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you know what's so funny? I was thinking about what you said, but I found that he was gay, but he didn't want my mother. My mother used to send me to the barber shop, and she'd be like, "Oh, tell Nabi I'll pay him later." And I was laughing at that shit because I remember what you said about the barbers banging the women.
Man, you know it. You seen it. You seen it. They be hanging around that shop like, damn, why did Joy keep coming around the shop? You know what I'm saying? Like she don't have no job or nothing. She be they be hanging in that shop, boy. They might sweep up. I'm like, she work here, and the barber always acting like, no, she just cool. But you know what it is. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, big time. You know, but he dead now, so
okay.
You know, but he was this neighborhood barber, and you know everybody had respect for him. But I didn't find out he was like that until my mother told me, because you know my mother always kept me in the kid's place. I was a child. She said that wasn't for me to know. But once I got older, I found out like when I was like, I'd say 19.
Where did you grow up at?
I'm from North New Jersey.
Oh shit. Oh, you from the bricks? Oh shit. Okay. Oh,
Brick City, New Jersey. Man.
Yo.
Retired correctional officer.
That's what's up. Yo,
yeah, I used to work in Trenton State Prison.
Get out of here. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I'm thinking like, so I think I know the projects you might be talking about. So I'm like, he was taking a chance on his life with that bullshit. That shit is crazy.
I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I'm from Baton Terrace.
I have heard of it.
Not too far from Queen Street.
Damn, man. That's crazy as shit.
I'm right across the bridge from you. You from Philly, right?
Yeah.
I'm right across the bridge from you, man. Right across, Route 1, straight out.
No doubt, especially if you worked at Trenton State Prison. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But man,
let me call my brother, man. They can hear my voice.
Nah, that's a good look. I'm glad you did. But yeah, I mean, you know, barber stories, they seem to be consistent from place to place. You know what I mean? You got good barbers, you got bad barbers, and you know, when you find a good barber, you know, like that's a good look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they good for a while, but once they start getting used to you, they don't give a fuck about your hair no more.
You ain't never lied, man. What is that shit?
They be rushing you out the can shit.
Yo. Can you relate to this? You know what I used to really hate when I was a young boy? I used to hate when an old head got in the chair and had a beard. Cause that made it extra long, like, oh man. When they used to put that chair back so he could do it, I used to be like, oh shit. Here we go with the beard. You know, because that's going to add another 15, 20, sometimes a half an hour. I'm like, oh.
Well, you know the worst thing to me with a haircut back when I was coming up as a kid? That fucking alcohol.
Woo! The sting. The heat.
And they didn't cut it. They didn't cut it with water like the barbers do now. They just use straight up alcohol.
Yeah, that shit was burning like a motherfucker. Your skin is all raw. You know what I mean? They put that alcohol in. That shit was burning. That shit was burning like a motherfucker, boy. Oh my God. Yeah, that was some shit. Yeah, I mean, when I had hair, I went through a lot of different barbers. A lot. Because, I mean, you're right. I mean, after a while, like, they start off real good. You be like, oh, yeah, this boy nice, blah, 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 blah. But then after a while, he start fucking with your hairline. You know what I mean? Or not following your instructions. Like, look, just do this, just do that. And they figure they know more than what you know. Like, you don't know what you want to look like.
You know? And they crazy, man. I ain't paying no $50 for no bald head and no beard. I cut it my damn self.
Yo, when I heard the prices that people are paying for haircuts and baldies, I'm like, what? First of all, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even respect the man that got a bald head and got to get somebody else to cut it. Like, you crazy, dog? Shit, it ain't happening.
Yep. $50 and then they want a damn tip.
Yeah, that's wild. 50.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I remember. What's the cheapest you remember a haircut costing?
The cheapest I remember $5 for a shaper and $9 for a cut.
Yo, I remember 5 and 7. 7 for a cut, 5 for the shaper.
And that was like a Caesar, like a dark Caesar.
Yeah,
like a paid $9.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when I remember when haircuts first went up to like $15, $20, I was like, "What's this? Well, what's all this? This I don't need you to do my hair. This you cutting hair, like you know what I mean? I wasn't ready for the new age and all of that kind of shit. And like I was saying earlier in the show, I don't know if you was there when I was saying this. I remember wasn't no such thing as making no appointment to no barbershop. They
just started that stuff after COVID, man.
No, they started it way before then.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. It was this shop in Philly called the Philadelphia Hair Company. They should have called it the Pretty Boy Barber Shop because they started washing your hair and all of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I never heard of nothing like that before. You know what I mean? Like, So they was washing your hair. They had the girls in there to wash your hair, and then they would blow dry your hair, and then they would cut it. And that wasn't, you would be looking real sharp, but they blow drying your hair, like in the summertime, the humidity, or if it rained or whatever, then your cut looked fucked up the same day. You went out there looking, you left the shop looking like $1 million, you know what I mean? But later on that day, you was looking like a $5 bull. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know Philadelphia, y'all started that blackout stuff.
Well, you know what? I don't know if we started it, but it's way too much of that shit. I never liked that shit, man. On my mom, on my dad, may he rest in peace. I ain't never do no shit. I ain't never think it was cool. I ain't never do it, and I never will. You know what I mean? That shit is ass.
That's the word. That's the word in Jersey. That shit started in Philly because I had a lot of gangsters in Philly.
I'm not going to deny it, because I saw dudes doing it. You know what I mean? That Biden. What the fuck is y'all doing? You know what I mean? I thought cats was only doing it for like if they was in a wedding or whatever. But no, I saw regular dudes doing it. I was like. Like, you dyeing your hair, dude? Like,
They big on that stuff, man.
Yo.
They big on it.
Yeah, but I remember wasn't no such thing as no hair appointments. You had to get your ass up early on a Saturday morning. You know what I mean? Get there early. First come, first serve. It's the barbershop. And let somebody try to jump in front of you when you know you was next. Like, nah. We not doing that.
Like in New Jersey, they started doing appointments and locking the doors because people was robbing the barbershops.
Yeah.
So, even North still bad, man. North is terrible. It's just terrible. And they be doing that for safety.
I can understand that.
But they'll cut it.
No, I remember in the barbershops, they wouldn't rob the barbershop. What they would do was steal the TV out the barbershop. They rob the barbershop, steal the TV, man. You know what I mean? We go in the barbershop the next day, because that TV was everything in the 80s. That TV was everything. You know what I mean? They stole the TVs. Like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like, now you just got to get your hair cut. You know what I'm saying? It was that's crazy.
And I don't remember back when I was a little kid, like teenager. They wasn't using that straight edge razor on our hair, man.
No, they wasn't. Not at all.
No, not back then.
They wasn't.
Now they be using that all the time, even on little kids, man.
Yeah, so I hear.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even use that. I don't even use that. You know what I'm saying? I rock out with the clippers, and and I take for my beard, I'll use like disposable razors after I line myself up just to clean out everything else. But I don't mess. I got a straight razor, but I ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying?
Like one of my boys, he wear a bald head. I'm like, yo, Nick, how you get your hair so good, man? He said, yo, I use Magic Shave. I can't use that shit. That shit stink.
It stink, and it don't always work It don't work right for everybody. You know what I mean? I just seen dudes use that shit. They got patches all over. That Magic Shave shit that ain't the move, man. That's it. Keep practicing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, man, good talking to you, bro.
Yo, without a doubt, man. You know what I mean? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you.
And I will stay in touch, man.
No doubt. Good looking.
Have a blessed night, brother.
You too. Be safe.
All right, you too.
My people's jihad in the house. You know what I'm saying? The Brick City's finest. The Brick City's finest. That's what I'm talking about. Jersey stand up all day, every day. Appreciate you calling in, my dude. All right. So hold on. Let me Carrie Zilla asked an interesting question. She says, should one be expected to render pay if a haircut gets sabotaged? Well, I have seen barbers mess up somebody's hair so bad that he better not ask for that money back or ask for the money after the cut. But, when you think about it rationally, he did do the work. So you may not pay him all the money, but he should get something. But you definitely should not get your hair cut or done by that person again. But yeah, you still have to pay. But unfortunately, sometimes a bad haircut can end in violence. It can spark violence. You know what I mean? We don't want to get into a violent situation, but bad haircut, because you have to understand and respect the fact that a bad haircut lasts for weeks. It's not like the next day you didn't get a cut or a scrape or whatever, and even a cut or a scrape. You know how long it takes for you to fully heal from a cut or a scrape. It can take weeks. So you have to look a certain way when you get a bad haircut or a bad hairstyle, and you just have to make the best of it. With a lot of dudes, they'll just go ahead and rock the baseball cap for a couple of weeks, few weeks or whatever, until they can get their hair back and whatever. But it's a bad situation. It's a bad situation. Hold on. Yeah. No. Now I finally got this poll up here. Now I'm trying to figure out how do I get it down. All right. Varshay, what's good? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. K-Cell says, son, I'm still amazed at how crackheads got away with them heavy ass TVs back then. Yo. You know what the funniest thing? It's Throwback Thursday, right? The funniest thing about crackheads is like their motivation. Like, if you could keep the motivation that a crackhead has for getting crack and for raising money to buy crack, if you could do that, you know how much money you would make? You know how much money you would have? And when a crackhead used to turn that corner, I don't care. Once the crackhead turn a corner with whatever he stole, he's gone. it was like magic to me. You know what I mean? I used to think it was a myth. Like, you know, I used to hear people talking about, yo, when a crackhead turn the corner, you know what I mean? You might as well stop chasing him because he gone. I'm like, what are you talking about? So you could be behind a crackhead just like this, like, yo, stop. When that motherfucker hit that corner, you was right here close to him. He hit that corner and that motherfucker disappeared. I seen it happen. With my own eyes. Like, yo, I was right. Hold on. What's going on? Am I being punked? I don't care if he stole a TV, and that was a picture tube TV. It ain't like these easy ass to steal, lightweight ass flat screen TVs. We talking about a 32 inch picture tube TV, Trinitron. Shit weighed like 75 pounds. Anyway, whether he had a TV, a VCR, a microwave, air conditioner. Once he hit that corner, go ahead, man. Just chalk it up. Hopefully you insured. Or you just gotta replace it on your payday. You just gotta replace it on your payday. I mean, it is what it is. You think it ain't when it is? Oh, you think it won't when it whiz? All right, I finally got the poll to go away. That's what's up. But yeah, it's a real thing. Carriezilla says they are like ants, lift 3 times their weight. Yo, I done seen crackheads with the strength of Hercules. Why do you think everybody always called a crackhead cousin or uncle or friend or whatever when it's time for you to move? When you need your whole house moved for like $50, yo, go get crackhead Rick. He gonna help you. He ain't got no car, but he gonna load up that truck. You just make sure you keep an eye on Rick, because he'll help himself to a little something while he moving yours. You let him move all the big things, nothing small. No jewelry, no trinkets, no money. You know what I mean? Definitely don't let him move that big jug of pennies or change that you had. Don't. Not a good look. He'll throw his whole life away for that. He will throw his whole life away for that. K-Cell says he kicked in fifth gear and hauled ass once he hit that corner. I mean, it's a real thing. Like I said, I thought it was a myth. I thought it was an urban legend. Thing is rad. He hit that corner. That's it. So both of y'all are right. K-Cell says, son, no lie, bruh. I seen a crackhead move a refrigerator on his back while riding a bike. I would not deny it. They were industrious. You know, they not like they used to be. Them motherfuckers were industrious. But you have to think about how many jobs they did daily and what they had to do to raise money for crack all day, every day. They did that shit. If you could have the crack motivation at your job or just hustling to get ahead, yo, man, you'd be driving around in something nice. Your home would be a show place. But unfortunately, you like to eat, sleep, and shop and do regular things. If all you had to worry about and concentrate on was getting high, things would be different for you. Carriezilla says, crackhead Rick, LOL. I've smoked crack a few times. I loved it. If I wasn't in such a rural area, I would have been into crack. I'm glad that you live in a rural area and it didn't, and your crack ambitions never panned out. I am so glad your crack ambitions just didn't come into fruition. Your crack ambitions never came into fruition. You ain't going to get paid and crack gets laid. Yo, it's a bad thing. It's a bad John. Yo, what the fuck is you saying? The hell is going on? Lost so many people to the crack game. Yo, the life that I was living would never be the same. Lost dames, lost niggas that was in the game. The shit was crazy. Some got cut off, some got maimed. A lot of people chopped up and put in the trunks. I can't forget that shit. I remember punks that really thought that they was all right, selling where they didn't belong. So they had to sing the sad song with the black suit on, the black clothes. And yo, all we got is those memories of all those people who came and went, can't stay. Yo, I don't even want to think about that the next day. We would never see a time like the crack era, 1980s and 90s. Shit is like scary. Scary as hell. Yo, I'll never forget. I can't believe all the crazy ass shit that I've seen with these two eyes and breathe that breath, the same air. Yo, I wish I wasn't there, but I can't front. I met a lot of people. Sometimes I didn't really want to be around the folks that did the things that they was doing, but in deep inside the kings. And yo, I know the potential that they had. Some was scholars, some was meant to make a lot of dollars. But yo, it is what it is. So we move on to this 2025 biz on to 2026. I hope that yo things work out and we don't get sick. All right. Okay. All right. K-Cell says motivation was high back then. It was. Them crackheads ain't the same now. These crackheads now, first of all, they all old. You know what I mean? We don't really have no young crackheads, which I'm surprised about because the drugs that these young cats are into these days. Perk 10 was good. Was good. Carrie says, I'm a typical middle-aged woman. I have a bottle and cans and wine. All right, cool. Let's just stay there. Now you said in Zans? Oh no. Oh no. Queso says I ain't ever smoked crack or did powder, but I did have I did have fun on acid back then. Oh my God. And you remember that? See, acid and wet, those are scary drugs, man. I don't want to get high on nothing that's going to have me dancing out in the middle of the street, butt ass naked with nothing but a pair of Timberlands on. I don't need to get that kind of high. I'm cool. I'm cool. And Carrie talking about prescription pills made it to the rural areas though. So Xanax for anxiety, Pinot because I love it. Oh, what the hell? You gotta chill. Queso says we got lazy crackheads these days. They are, cause it ain't every. I mean, I'm glad the crack era is over, but I don't like this heroin era. This fentanyl, that shit. Ugh. I hate to say this, but I would gladly bring back crack over smack. P says, just want to throw this flag. All right. You got to do what you got to do. Queso says, oh no, I never had a bad trip. Microdots was my shit. Okay. Okay. Still, it's acid, son. It's acid. Lysergic acid diethylamide. Oh, man. Gee, I said, son, you said this might be a scam call because it's a Hawaii number. My wife and I live in Hawaii for a few years. I kept it. That's cool, man. Listen, we've been getting so many trolls calling in. That's why I thought, I was like, when I saw the 80, I mean, when I saw the area code, I was like, Yeah, I gotta give the warning. I'm glad it wasn't though, because they've been killing me this week. They have been killing me. For real. They have been killing me on the troll side this week. But yeah, man, you know, we talking about the barbers, we talking about the mechanics. I want to get back to this car shit. I do. I want to get back to this car shit because having a bad ride or having a mechanic that's bullshitting you, that's not doing what they supposed to do. You know, your car not running right can be depressing, especially if you got a car that has a car note and you not driving because you are paying a car note every month on a car that ain't riding right. And you got a mechanic that keeps telling you that he fixed the problem and the problem keeps cropping up. Now, I don't like the feeling of driving in a car that I don't have confidence in. And it could be anything that can make you lose confidence in a car that you're driving. Like something that's not really a mechanical issue, but it might be something on your part, like bad tires. You know, like every time I have gotten a flat tire, it's always some drama around a flat tire. I can't never just get a flat tire where I can just, you know, make it to a gas station, fill up until I can get the tire fixed or whatever. I don't have those kind of tire issues. Every time I have a tire issue, my shit wind up on a flatbed of a tow truck. Call the flatbed. You know what I mean? I can't even get my shit on the hook. And the reason why my shit never get on the hook is because I normally have some rims on my shit or some lugs on my shit where you got to have a special wrench. And for some reason, I can't find the wrench to get that shit off, whatever. So, you know, there's problems, son. There's real problems out here, you know? But yeah, something like tires, which is not a mechanic's fault. It could be your fault, but it could be your fault or a mechanic's fault if they didn't screw the lugs in all the way. You know, and if you driving a car where the lugs aren't screwed in all the way, that is a road hazard that's serious. That's a road hazard, a health hazard. You know what I mean? You could end your life on that. That's serious business. You don't want to be part of that. No. You don't want no part of that, son. You don't want no part of that right there. No. So, but yeah, you think that your car has been fixed and then you realize that it's an ongoing problem. It can feel like your mechanic is playing with you. It can feel like they don't care about you, and they might not. And it can also feel like you throwing good money after bad. So you are paying money to get your car fixed, and your car ain't being fixed. You know, after a while, that can bring out the worst in a person. You might be ready to make some moves that you ain't got no business being ready to make. But yeah, your car being down for a while can really, really, really sour your mood. You might be paying a car note, or even if you own the car outright, that's your car and you should be able to drive your car. But you can't drive your car because your car is unreliable. See what y'all talking about. Okay, so it says I hate Chevy every time. Oh, you said I hate Chevy. Every Chevy I had always had problems with electrical system. Really? You want problems with electrical system in a car? Get yourself a German car. I don't care whether it's BMW, but they are notorious for bad electrical problems. But Volkswagen, Porsche, Audi, and you know, I don't know if y'all know that Volkswagen owns Audi and Porsche now. So Volkswagen is the big dog. But yeah, after a while they had bad electrical problems, and so do BMWs. They have bad electrical problems. And BMWs have all kinds of problems now. It's just not a good car. It used to be a good car. It's not a good car anymore. You see, they don't, even in their commercials, they don't talk about that ultimate driving machine shit no more. Pay attention. Queso says, another thing I hate about new cars these days is those damn computers, and every damn thing is electric and has some kind of sensor that fucks up the whole car. Yeah, I agree with that. They are over engineering cars, and they're not engineering it to be better for you. They're engineering it for them, because now regular mechanics can't fix the car because it's so computerized. It's so, you know, the concentration is so much on electrical things. Just like you said, the sensors and all of that. Now you can't just fix a car from the rip like you used to be able to do back in the day. So you might have a barber that's outdated. He can fix cars, but he can't fix the car that you had. He might not be able to fix the car that you have because it's over engineered. All right, let me see. Carrie says, my best car was a Toyota Highlander 03. It was on the road till 2024. I now drive a Ford Escape 16. Okay. All right. Queso says, I had a square body Audi A8, and the thing was a piece of shit. Yes, I had an Audi back in the day too. When an Audi is running good, it's like no other car on the road. That shit, the speed, the handling. But an Audi stay in the shop. It will not keep running. And hardly anybody can fix an Audi. You got to take an Audi to the dealer. And there is absolutely no other option. Nobody can fix an Audi. I've never met a mechanic, no matter what his skill level was, that could fix an Audi. They look under the engine, everything looked the same. But the Audis have this compression system. They have this compression system. It's like this hydraulic compression system. And I found out that because I unhooked it. It was just like this little hose. I unhooked it, fucked up my brakes and everything. The car wasn't working right. I'm changing the brakes on it. I'm like, why is the pedal all hard like this? I took it to my older cousin, master mechanic, worked for Sears like, I don't know, 30 years? 30, 40 years, some old crazy shit like that. Retired, was just fixing cars at his crib, turned his garage into a mechanic's garage. He was the family mechanic. Took him my car. He was like, Omar, ain't nothing wrong with the car. I was like, I'm telling you, cuz something like it ain't, you know, like you feel it, you feel the pedal. He was like, yeah, but I don't know what is going on. And then I looked in the back. I said, wait a minute, you know what? I put that shit back in, and it was like the car came back to life. The life support of the car was a good look. My brother Troy McNeil, Troy Diesel, 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 yeah, Troy Diesel, Troy Diesel, Troy Diesel. Yo, what's going on, my dude? What's going on? Queso says, And that's why I love my old school 1978 Dodge D100 and my 1993 Honda Prelude. Damn, you got a Prelude. Wow. I can break them down and rebuild the engine in a weekend. Listen, man, older cars, they ain't no pain in the ass. They not. You know what I mean? You can still upgrade it with all of this shit. If you want to put in a GPS radio, whatever, the Bluetooth shit, that's what I do. You know what I mean? I put in the aftermarket, radio. I still got CD and shit is Bluetooth, Apple Play, Google Play, should I say Android Play? You can put the rear view camera on. You ain't gotta live your life this way. You ain't gotta do it. I got 1996 Toyota Avalon. I'm never getting rid of this car. It's got like 270,000 miles on it. This shit won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I got a new paint job, threw rims up on it, put a new radio in it, put a box in the back. I'm that bull. When you pull up next to me, I'm yeah, my trunk is rattling and all that. I mean, I got more than one car, but my Toyota, my Avi, and they stopped making the Avalon. By 1996. Shit, man, people still be there like, damn, that's the night. I'm like, yeah, it's the first generation Avalon. Like, fuck, that shit run. That shit run. You know what I mean? When I get that shit fixed, things happen fast. All right, let me see. Carrie says, my first car I bought was a used 88 Beretta. Damn. Drove it till 99. Bought it with 150,000 miles on it in 95. Wow. I drove the heck out of it. A Chrysler that already had 150,000 miles. For American cars, that used to be a death sentence. Anything over 100,000 miles, they used to be like, yo, that's American car, man, get rid of that shit. But no, you have some good American Indians. We do have some good American Indians. But I was trying to say good American engines. Like the 3800 GM. The other one that's better than that, though. The one that was in the Chevy Lumina. That was a good ass engine. It was in the Chevy Lumina. And it was also in the Chevy Corsica. But my man K-Cell said, nah, fuck them Chevys. I don't know, man. I always liked the Chevy. Yeah, I like the Chevy. But K-Cell says, my Dodge engine bay. I can fit my whole body down in there to work on the engine. That's what's up. And only thing I don't like about Dodges is they are notorious for brake problems. What's up with Chrysler and the brakes? The fucking Mopar parts, like what? Like you should not have to change brakes on a car 2-3 times a year. That's Dodge for you though. That's Dodge. Dustin Payne. What up, Dustin? She said she said she had a Beretta. Yeah, she had a Beretta. You know, that was hitting hard back in the day. That was hitting hard. Yeah, you got a Beretta? Yeah, a Beretta, a Grand Am? Like, what? You got the Grand Am? Oh, shit, it's about to be on. Queso says, I like Toyotas, Hondas, and the 1998 Ford Taurus. Only that year the Taurus for years after the Ford Taurus fell off. Yeah, man, because remember Remember the Taurus wagon? Notorious for transmission problems. That tranny, the Taurus wagon was dope back in the day. But that tranny, they was notorious for transmission problems. That tranny. Carrie says, it was all I could afford. I saved $600 for pushing cars. That's pushing carts. That's what's up. Casey says, now I ain't gonna lie. Them Chevy Luminas were fast as fuck. And the Berettas, yo, come on, man. I had a Beretta. I'm sorry, I had a Lumina. That was my shit. That shit, woo. The engine of that shit was, woo. Them Loomies was flying. My Lumi, man, that was my ride right there. Toyota Prius had faulty brakes in 07. Yeah, they did. Toyota got problems with brakes. I remember when that came out. That was like a scandal. Like, oh, everybody been praising Toyota for all these years. Yeah, they got faulty brakes. Shit is serious. That shit is serious. G.I. says Buick is a good car. It's a lot better than Buick had a lot of bad years though. They had a lot of bad years where they really didn't have no good cars. But they got some nice Buicks now. It's fucked up now. Now a lot of American cars are good now that they're not made in America. Troy says, I have a variety of cars. Through this company called Uber. You said through this company called Uber. Uber engines always run well, but if those cars break down, I just get my other variety of cars from my other company called Lyft. Yeah, that's dope. But you ain't got to come in here bragging about how much money you got. You know what I'm saying? This is a safe space, but we don't be bragging around here. That's what we're not going to be bragging. Carrie says Buick had some of the best cars. They definitely had their eras. They've definitely had some good Buick eras. K-Cell says, I remember when the Acura Legends came out. I wanted one so bad. That and the Acura Vigor. Oh, man. Remember, Act was the best when all they had was the Legend, the Integra, and then they came out with the Vigor. That Vigor. And the hood, the Vigor was everything. Like, he got a Vigor. Motherfucker had a Act Vigor. You would have thought he had a Benz. You'd have thought he had a Benz. That Vigor got mad respect. They got mad respect. Troy says, anyone ever drive a Model T? Those cars was legendary. Yeah, they sure was. That Henry Ford was something else, wasn't he? Shit, I remember when they came out with the horseless carriage. State of the art, baby. State of the art. You know what I mean? Shout out to Lancaster County. They bringing it back. But we talking about mechanics and barbershop nightmares. Mechanics and barbershop nightmares. When your car is fucked up and you don't know how to fix it yourself, and you have to rely on somebody that's supposed to be an expert, and it seems like all they doing is picking your pockets, that shit can bring out the worst in you. It can definitely bring out the negative side of you. It can bring out the violent side of you. It might turn you into a straight gangster, telling somebody what you might do to them or what you will do to them, or making promises about what you'll do to them if they ever jerk you out of your money or don't represent properly again. First of all, I want my money back. That's number one. And I want my car fixed right. Oh, shit. Remember the Sterling? Sterling was made by, wasn't it by Mercor? Mercor? I think it was by Mercor. What car company made the Sterling? Oh, shit. The Sterling mark was a brand name for cars marketed in the United States and Canada by Austin Rover Cars of North America, a division of Rover Group. So the Rover Group, we talking about like Land Rover? Range Rover? It says Austin Rover. Okay. This is the Sterling, all right. All right. Oh, you know what? I was thinking about the Scorpio, not the Sterling. I was thinking about the Scorpio. What car company made the car called Scorpio? Oh, shit. Okay, that was Mercor. All right, it said the Ford Motor Company, through its European and North American divisions, produced a car model named Scorpio. The Ford Scorpio was a European model, while a variant known as the Mercor Scorpio was sold in North America. My bad. I'm like, I remember Mercor doing something. All right, I was thinking about, you said the Sterling. I'm thinking about the Scorpio. My bad. My bad, my dude. My bad. Carrie Zilla says, what about eyebrow nightmares? Right before my junior prom, girl at a salon left me very tadpole like tadpole like eyebrows. How many of y'all are thinking about what a tadpole looks like? The head, the body gets smaller into a little tail, looking like a sperm cell. You know, I guess an actual sperm. Yeah. Eyebrows. Tadpole eyebrows. What the hell is happening tonight? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so you said you thought the Sterling was a German car? I guess not. Mars rover. Hold on. Okay, so it says, y'all remember them piece of shit Daewoo cars? Woo! Not only did Daewoo make bad cars, they made bad products on everything else. That shit. Daewoo was proof positive that not all Asian cars are good. That was living proof. Remember the Peugeot cars? That's French. Man, them Peugeots, they like ran on diesel. They ran on diesel fuel. I never saw a Peugeot that sounded good. They sounded like an old car, even though they wasn't old. Was it just me? Peugeot, the French car. A Peugeot. Troy says, remember driving the car called Hackman Do I miss those days? Oh my gosh. Yo, man, you are too local. I don't think they call it that in other places. I don't think in other cities they call hack cabs were known as gypsy cabs. I think that's the general name of it. Gypsy cab. Yeah, they would, yeah. Yeah, they were the Temu of car manufacturing. Yeah. 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 That sounds about right. Hold on. Turn this fan down. I'm about to freeze over this joint. Matter of fact, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm straight. I am down to shake it or break it on the mic all night. Yeah. But yeah, bad mechanics, bad hairstylists, bad barbers. Bad mechanics, bad hairstylists, bad barbers. I'm trying to think about the worst barber experience I ever had. I'll tell you what. Well, this is not fair. This wasn't fair. Okay, so when I did my internship overseas, over in Holland, we were over there for a couple of months, and so they weren't wearing their hair over there like I was here, so I didn't know where to go get a haircut from. So me and my mans that I was doing my internship with, we rode up to Germany one weekend to see my big brother, who was stationed at the German Air Force base, Rhein-Main, or in Frankfurt. I think it was in Frankfurt, Germany. It was Rhein-Main Air Force base. Anyway, so we rode up there to see him, and when I got up there, my big brother had a motherfucking S curl. I was like, the fuck is you doing? He was like, yo, it's hard to, get a cut out here like you really want it. So a lot of us just get a curl, you know what I mean, till we get back to the States. I was like, come on, man. He was like, yeah, but I got a barber for you. She'll cut your hair real good. So my man peeped, it. He was like, all right, you go. And if she cut your hair right, then I'll go. First of all, I never had my hair cut by a female. Okay. On top of that, it was a white female. Now, this is in the high top fade days. We was coming around like the end of it, because this was 1992. But I was used to my cut being sharp. Well, this is the first time that anybody cut my hair and claimed that they did such a great job. She was like, yeah, I've been cutting hair for all of these years and blah, 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 blah. There ain't nobody ever tell me that they ain't like I was like, listen, shorty, I don't know about all that shit you talking about, but you ain't cut my hair right. I should have just woofed. You know what I mean? Rock the baseball cap. Rock the baseball cap, because this ain't it. She fucked my shit up. I was thankful that I was overseas and they didn't know what a fresh cut was anyway. But had we been stateside, we'd had a problem. But then again, if we were stateside, there's no way I would have let her touch my hair. I don't know if she understood black hair or not. It didn't matter. She had the cosign from my brother, and he got mad at me for being mad at her for not cutting my hair right. Well, she a good friend of mine, and you shouldn't have talked to her like that. I was like, talk to her like what? If she fucked my hair up, what are you talking about? And my man was just, he felt for me, but he made sure I went first. He wasn't getting his, he was like, nah, I'm cool. She ain't touching my head. So he had 2 months of hair growing on his head, but I think he might have had clippers and shit. You know what I'm saying? He might have shaped his shit up. What about the Dodge Neon era? Oh my God. Shit, the Neon wasn't bad. If you ain't have a lot of money, at least you could drive. The Neon wasn't that bad. I remember I rented one to go up to the Poconos when I was like 24. When I was like 24 years old. It was a good cheap rental. Remember, they started making Neons. They started souping them up, putting racing engines inside of them and all that kind of shit. Why couldn't the Neon be what the Honda Civic is? Why not? Why couldn't you seen what Asians and Puerto Ricans do to a Honda Civic? Come on, man. You seen it. You see it. The Geostorm hatchback. Now, that car I did not like. No respect there. Troy says Isuzu Sidekick was in all of the music videos back in the day. The Sidekick? What is it called, the Sidekick? Okay. K-Cell says, oh shit, not the S-curl. Yeah. I'm like, of all people, he had an S-curl? I was like, what the hell? Man, I could tell he had been over there too long. K-Cell says, and that Isuzu Trooper. Carrie says, Fraulein Bermuda cut his hair. Well, we was on the Air Force base, so she was an American white girl. You know what I mean? I ain't got no problem with her being white. But like I said, I had never had a woman cut my hair before. And now I know why. She wasn't ready for this job. But shit, my brother is the one that recommended her. Troy says the Pacer. Oh my God, Cole from the Pacer, the Gremlin, and the fucking what's that other all three of the cars was ugly as shit. The Pacer, the Gremlin, and the Pinto. The Pinto, the Pacer, and the Gremlin. Ugly as shit. Damn, you still see a Dodge Neon every now and then? I haven't seen a Neon.
You have a call from
Troy.
Trizoy.
Yo, what's up?
What's good?
I would have called in early, but you know where I'm at, man.
Yeah.
I told you where I'm not in there. I told you I had to go back earlier, man. So that situation's still happening.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you went to did y'all use MapQuest to go see your brother?
No, we caught the train. We didn't drive. Shit. Wasn't trying to drive over there. Shit.
I had to just see because I know it wasn't no MapQuest was out back then.
We right? We didn't even know how to use a computer like that. To be real with you, in 1992, shit.
Oh, shit.
We were still using IBMs.
Yeah. So I'll be right safe. So you seen your brother with the escort that do like members of Atlantic Star or fucking it.
Yo, when I saw him, I was like, what the fuck?
How do you think come on me up?
He would have never done that shit if he was on. He would have never done that shit. I was like, my brother's a conformist. You know what I mean? He went from my hero to my zero real quick. Real quick. I was like, what the fuck they done to you? For real. What the fuck have they done to you?
He had an earring in his ear.
He did. He did.
You cannot have that. It wasn't just a regular stud. It was hanging down, wasn't it? Oh, okay. He had the stud. Okay.
Wait a minute. Maybe he didn't have an earring because he was in the Air Force. You can't do that.
You can't. You just gotta take it off.
Now I got to think about it because I know he had an earring in his ear after he got out or whatever, and he didn't have like no big long S curl. It was like faded, but it was a S curl on top. You know what I mean?
So when he came home, did he cut it off before he came home?
Yeah. He knew that. That shit ain't working. Man. First of all, this is 1992. Who the fuck had a curl in the 90s? So he knew you can do that shit in Germany. That shit ain't you don't bring it. Even NWA ain't have no curl in 1992. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Ice Cube
had it for a while.
No, by his first album, he ain't had no Jerry curl. Remember?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And that was 1990. So this is 2 years after that. Now Easy might have still had a Jerry curl. When you think about it, only NWA. It was only Easy and Ice Cube that had a Jerry curl. The rest of the members ain't had that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no. So no, he knew better. He knew better than to try to make it over here with this shit. I was like, what the fuck? Big Brother was my hero. He was losing ground fast. Mm-hmm. He was going down like a plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, back to the barber situation, bro. Look, man, I remember my grandmother used to take me to this barber named Mr. Broadneck. That was his name. That was his last name, Mr. Broadneck. And he used to go to the bathroom. Now, he didn't have a sink in the bathroom. He had it outside to clean up in the barber shop. So he'd go to the bathroom. I never really realized this to one of my boys who used to go to him. He used to say, yo, Mr. Broadneck ever go cut your hair, go to the bathroom and cut your hair, and then come out the bathroom and then just come right back to cutting your hair. Shit, damn. I've never noticed that, but I guarantee you he did it.
Man.
I had another barber, with Brother Kenny, thorough shit. It took him about a good hour 45 minutes to cut my hair because he used a knife while he was cutting. So I'm going to take you to Hollywood. And then as he keeps taking you to Hollywood, he used the knife. So when he got done, you was fresh to death, bro.
As long as you was fresh to death. Well, when we talking about the times when you were not fresh to death.
Oh shit.
We talking about when you got your shit chopped up, when you got your hairline twisted around your head, when you know what I mean, when you had to rock the patches. Then we talking about them times when you had to go get a baseball cap and rock out with that shit for a month.
I never forgot. I don't know if it was S curl. I put an S curl. I wanted to get them waves in my hair, so I put one of them wave kits in my hair by myself. And I washed that shit out. And when I went to the barber shop, they was cracking the fuck up and said, man, you got a bunch of scabs in your fucking head.
going around calling me Scabby.
What you got? Sporting waves?
I wanted that wavy look. My barber was like, "What's up, Scabby?"
Oh man. You know,
I asked my girl to put at that time. I asked my girl to put it in, and she was like, "I ain't doing that shit. We got an art and shit. I ain't doing that shit." I said, "I do my dance song." That shit was burning like a motherfucker. I felt like Malcolm X. Denzel playing Malcolm X. He ready to go to the toilet.
Yeah. Any other time?
Hey, the Gumby. I told you that story, man. When I went, my boy had the Gumby. And when he had the Gumby, I was like, "That shit fresh, bro. I gotta get me one of them." I already had a box, so it was easy to get the Gumby.
Mm-hmm.
I got that motherfucking Gumby, boy, and I looked at that shit. I was so upset at myself, boy. I kept my head on the whole time for about a month, just so my hair can grow in. And even when it grew in, it was still lopsided.
Yo.
Okay. Then when it would start growing in, it was like the Gumby / Pompadour.
I definitely had the Pompadour. Yeah, I had that.
Oh my God. You didn't have a Pompadour, bro.
Hell yeah, proudly. Listen, man, I rocked my shit. My Pompadour was all the way out here. That shit was crazy.
You gotta put some pictures up for when you had hair, bro.
Yo, I do not have pictures. Like my sisters and all of they got pictures. I don't have no pictures from my hair journey. But I kept a lot of hair on my head. My Pompadour was all the way out here. My Gumby was all the way up there. My box was all the way up here. That shit was crazy.
You had a Pompadour like MC Hammer dancing.
My shit ain't, I don't know, man. Remember EST?
Oh yeah.
But his was like, he had a Pompadour to like the side. You know what I mean?
That was a Gumby, pretty much, almost a Gumby.
Sorta. You know what I mean? It wasn't because it wasn't all the way to the side. So it was like, you know what I mean? Maybe 45 degrees or so, whatever. But no, I had the Pompadour. That shit was way out here. And I had the waves spinning in the middle of my head and on the sides and the back. So yeah, I wasn't fucking around. I was not fucking around. But I didn't get a huh?
I never forgot I went to when I was in college and I found a barber. White barber, you can cut hair good as shit. But I said, let me be like Big Daddy Kane and get the 3 cuts in the eyebrow. I said, I'm not just gonna do the eyebrow. I'm gonna do the mustache and beard too. I had cuts on. It was like, yo, you look sick.
Okay.
3 cuts in the eyebrow, trying to wild out.
Yeah. I didn't do the cuts in the eyebrows either. Anything that didn't grow back real quick, I was like, I ain't do it. What was that part? What was that part that people used to have? It like started like in the middle and went all the way around. You know what I mean? You had to like cut a lot of hair in order to make it.
You ain't talking about the curve part, are you?
I'm talking about the curve part, but there was a certain name for it. And I can't remember what it was, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like I had a balls to do that.
No, I never had a balls to do anything. Like anything like you said, anytime you get a haircut and it's gonna when you turn around and it's gonna take your solid roll back.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not doing that. We ain't doing that. We can't do that. And then you got to I told you about my onyx days when I cut all my hair off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And my hair, mustache, everything, other than the eyebrows. And I almost did that on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Low down, gritty, and grimy, bro.
Let me see. Like, I'm trying to think about any time when I got like a really bad haircut. And I don't think I ain't never had no barber like really fuck my shit up. which, I'm proud to say, but, at any given time, that shit could go a totally different way. You know what I mean? But that don't mean that I was always satisfied with the cut that I got. You know what I mean? And when it comes to females, I used to always hear females complaining about, hairstylists cutting their hair all off. You know what I'm saying? Or, not coloring their shit right, or not perming their shit right, or, whatever. Like they was complaining about shit all the time. All the time. It was but I know what I wanted to say. These young cats getting these high top fades now, they be looking kind of fresh. But somehow they not as fresh as we was with it. You know what I mean? Like, this shit was a straight art form. We was doing that shit. Like, it stayed fresh. But I have seen some young boys. I'm like, oh yeah, you actually doing it right. But that shit ain't supposed to cost no $40.
No. I never forgot my uncle cut my hair with just a razor, man. A whole razor in his hand. He had a glove on with a razor in his hand. Came out sharp, but I was nervous as a bitch.
Oh my God.
Real feminine.
Yo.
Real feminine. I was real feminine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, real feminine.
Yeah. That's not.
I was risking life. I really was risking life.
Yeah, those are the kind of stories you don't want to hear.
Yeah, I risked my life for a cut like that.
Risk your life for a cut like that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I remember them.
When I was 16, I remember I cut my shit all the way down. I had never had like a Caesar cut or anything like that before. I had never seen my head. I had never cut my hair. But you know what? My dad used to try to cut my hair back when I was a little boy. He couldn't cut worth shit. Yeah, he couldn't cut. I think he knew how he wanted it to look. He just didn't know how to do it. But he used to do it. I think his whole thing was, I mean, he a little boy. Let me just cut his hair. What difference is it gonna make? I'm like, shit.
It ain't gonna do nothing but grow back anyway.
That's how I think he was probably looking at it that way. He always rocked the afro. You know what I mean? Till his dying day.
I remember.
Yeah. So
I remember.
I couldn't keep hair that long. Jihad
Every time I send your pop, I just picture him with his own 70s his own theme music.
That was my dude. But yeah.
Yes, he was. Man, thoroughly hell, boy.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I was like, he's smooth as all over, like cool, smooth, cool, man.
Oh my God!
Every time I'll be ready to go, give me 5 on the side of his brow.
Wait! Look at the comments. Carrie Zilla said, "I cut my daughter's bang once. Poor girl looked like children in the court." Yo, that's wild as hell. K-Cell say you wrong for that. She is dead wrong for that. Like, yo, you can't be fucking up. You can't be fucking up little girls. You gotta do better. That's crazy.
Yo, not to get off subject, could I ask you a question though, son? Because you're a very highly intelligent individual that knows a lot about politics. They've been talking about immigration, right? I just want to know something. We haven't seen one of the ethnicity of immigration. We just seen Mexican and Spanish people. We haven't seen an Asian one, a white one, Cambodian one. We haven't seen none of them. I mean, I'm serious. I haven't seen Ice pick up none of that. Vietnamese, Filipino.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd bring that up. I just wanted to see you.
I mean, that's not by mistake.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
They wanted to go for who they liked the least first. So that would be all of the Latinos and all of the Caribbeans, or all of the black, or the black and the browns.
There you go. There you go.
Then we can get to the yellow and all of that.
Let's get them out the way, because that's the fair. That's the fair right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can control the yellow, but we can't control them.
I mean, shoot. What's the name was talking about getting Steve Bannon? I mean, Steve Bannon was talking about getting Elon up out of here. Deport his dumbass. Like, you want to talk shit? All right. Yo, put him on the first thing smoking. Matter of fact, put him on one of his own rockets. Put him on his own spaceship.
Like the terrorist one song. Did you ever think about it when you're out of here? I'm serious shit, boy. All
right, man. It's 2 a.m. It's
2 a.m.
I'm sorry. It's 4 a.m. I meant it's 2 hours. We are 2 hours in. I made it till Friday. It is a Rizat.
Hey, man, I'm glad I was able to call that, man. I was in the situation I'm going through, but I'm going to keep you posted on that.
All right. You do that.
Yeah. All right. Much love, everybody. Peace out, man.
Without a doubt, man.
All right.
Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Let's take a look at let's take a look at the poll. Let's take a look at this poll here. All right. So, which car issue has plagued you the worst? 48% said the transmission. Damn, out of 27 votes, the transmission was the biggest problem. Wow. 15% says accidents, dents, scratches, etc. 15% said engine overheating, stalling. Okay. And 22% said tires, windows, lights, electrical. Interesting as hell. For real, for real. That's interesting as hell. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 12th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them, making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. We get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. We get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. We get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. My girl, Lori Smalls. Happy birthday to you. And also, Remy Ma, not the famous Remy Ma, not the papoose Remy Ma, but the other Remy Ma who calls herself Remy Ma. And also Azai Aziel and Ann Lowe, Joy Palmer, Ilvania, Marielle Santana, Shari Jones, Shirley Talagote, and Jamila Casey, Deneen Williams, and last but not least, no, she was last but not least. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious June 12th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and go hard, go for yours. Yo, when you talk about the cars that you gotta drive in, trying to stay alive. At the same time, you trying to stay handsome and you cute, but you be ready to shoot somebody when they make you look like you're turning your head where it's supposed to be straight, but hold up, wait. You can't relate to looking a different kind of way than you really want to look, and you ain't off the hook, but it's off the chain when you got to explain how come you're looking like somebody that's in some deep pain because somebody messed up your head. Plus, you almost got crashed into a car and almost half dead. Yo, be careful out there. Don't let it just anybody work on your car. You got to spend that money, yo, star. But sometimes the money ain't really there. So you got to take what you can because you ain't prepared. You go, the beggars can't be choosers, but you want to be in the winner, soaker who ain't trying to be the losers. I understand the struggle is real, but you got to sit back, relax, do your thing, chill, still. The time is going to come, and I got to be patient, son. Everything is going to be all right on the one. Yo, there's a ton of knowledge that you got to learn. You ain't got to be all impatient. Just wait your turn. Sometimes you gotta wait for the greatness. You ain't trying to be there with the quickness, but don't be the lateness. Your lateness, late slip. Yo, you ain't got a late pass. You gotta be on this type of shit, lost weight fast. You want some more slim fast type shit. Your surgery. Yo, slow it down, yo, kid. Don't act like you heard of me. Well, I was in those kind of places, them kind of spaces, trying to make sure I etch a sketch, erase this shit right off of the screen. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be shooting nobody, rupturing spleens, but I know. But when I was in my teens, I had a lot to prove. But right now, I'm making moves that's a lot different than the ones that I made before. But I'm trying to make a real one next time for sure. And I'm going to take a tour. Make sure I take it with me. We going to get on the bus. But I ain't trying to cuss at somebody because they didn't fix my car. So I'm just really trying to get this gas and go far. Sometimes I like to ride out and find a little hideout, go chill up in the telly, but nobody can see or smell me. Just take a few days of staycation. I ain't trying to be on the type of shit. It's all elation. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow night around 1 o'clock. We talk about the music show. Yo, the shit is hot. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night with another daily Go Get 'Emism show. But we'll be here at 1 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock tomorrow night. And tomorrow night, we talk about music. Music. We talk about music. Music. Now, what I was having... I was thinking about this topic for the music show tomorrow night. Because we always have fun on Friday nights talking about the music. So this is what we're going to talk about tomorrow night. This should be interesting. We're going to talk about musicians with criminal records. Musicians with criminal records. Now, hip-hopers alone. Hip-hop alone could cover this whole show. But we're going to find out tomorrow night that it's not only hip-hop. It wasn't all just hip-hop stars who've had criminal records. You might be surprised. We're going to have a little historical thing going on tomorrow. So make sure y'all come through for the Daily Go Get 'Emism show. 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. Y'all have a good night. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. I holla back. Peace. And thanks for coming through, y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. One by one.